Hi everyone, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl, and this is my writing life update, more or less, for March and possibly quarter one of 2019. I've admittedly been a little scatterbrained. Um, so, what's been going on since the new year? I'm wearing my 2018 NaNoWriMo Winners t shirt. I love wearing this t shirt. Let's see. My writing group and I kind of took a break in December. In January, I had set up goals for submitting 5 times a month. And when it comes to fiction, that's relatively easy. I'm looking at my notes for this video, and it says January submissions, February submissions, January news. Do you think I can remember what January news is? Nope. Nothing. I need to write myself better notes. So in January, I submitted Will Knit to Travel, book 1 of my Traveling Knitter series, to 5 different publishers. I haven't heard back from any of them yet based on their response windows. For those that did give a response window, mid to end of April is the soonest I will hear back, so fingers crossed. But like I said, if nobody wants it, I'm also open to self-publishing it. And thanks to Patreon, I am slowly saving the money for that. February submissions got a little interesting. In February, I decided to focus on some of my nonfiction works. And let me tell you, writing a nonfiction proposal isn't easy. There's a lot that goes into that. And of the 5 places I was going to submit, I got 4 of the submissions done. I did. I mentioned that in my March goals update video as well. One of the publishers I had originally picked out ended up becoming a vanity press. And so I had to sub in a different one after doing some research. And while I'm going to be submitting what I'm going to be submitting to this new publisher is an idea that I've submitted somewhere else as well. All of them take simultaneous submissions. You just have to let them know. Their requirements have, their proposal packet requirements have a lot more than the other one, so I've been able to duplicate where I can. I still have to do some stuff though for this one. So, keeping in mind that one of them became a vanity publisher and I had to sub in like 2 weeks before, like halfway through the end of the month. I'm not, and with as much work as went into these nonfiction proposals, I am not upset with the fact that I only got 4 of the 5 submitted. Now, that 5th one I've rolled over for March, and I'm also trying to theme my submissions each month. I think that would make it easier. So January was the novella. February was nonfiction stuff. March, with the exception of the one nonfiction that I've rolled over, I think I'm going to do short story submission. You know, I'm trying to think of themes here, people. And maybe in April, it would be appropriate in April to do some poetry submissions, because April's National Poetry Month. Haha. I may actually be trying to get organized here, if you can believe that or not. So yeah. So it's March 10th. I haven't picked out where I'm going to submit short stories to. Bad me. But in semi-writing related news, this is also has to do with my knitting. I wrote my first pattern for a knitting project. So there's technically some writing in there, and I've been editing that too. It's writing, but it's not writing. So I spent all last week fixing the pattern, and I'll be getting it out to testers this week. And once it's been tested, I plan on submitting that, publishing that on Ravelry, and all that fun stuff. But anyways, so that's writing, but not writing. Plus, I still have my April Patreon story to write, but I've got ideas. My lovely little B6 flex. I just write down ideas. Like, I'll get an idea and just start writing it out as much as I can at the time, and then I'll flesh it out on the computer. It's been fantastic. So I've got a couple ideas for that. I don't think I'm going to be scrambling the way I was last year. January, February, March, it was nice to have that series. It was a multi-part short story for Patreon, but I'm moving somewhere else. I'm moving into a different direction this time. And my creative writing group, we're back to meeting once a month, and I've got homework for that too. So working on that. Oh, maybe that's what the news was. So one of my friends in my creative writing group, she's kind of sort of my mentor, even though she doesn't think she's my mentor, she kind of is. Because we write differently, and with me doing a bunch of nonfiction stuff as well as fiction, she's like, you're more trade, and that's not her thing. She is having her first book published this month. It comes out March 15th. It's called Reception. The author is Kenzie Jennings. I was one of the beta readers for it. I am very excited for her. And once the book is officially out, you can pre-order the ebook on Amazon, but I can't do any pre-ordering. I can't pre-order my hardback copy until March 15th. Doesn't matter. But once I have it, I'm going to reread it, because she said she changed something since I read it, so I need to reread it. And I'm going to be doing a book review on it. So I'm just so happy for her. So maybe that's what my January news was. So Reception, it's it's a horror novel, has to do with cannibals. I'll link it down below in the description box too. That way you can check it out if you're interested. So yeah, but that's what's been going on with me. Those are my plans for March and April. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably give some updates in my goals videos if I hear anything from the publishers. I haven't been working on the Bob and Lace workbook either, just because it blew my mind how much work went into those nonfiction proposals. It really did. I'm still shocked at what goes into. So, actually, I want to tell you a little bit more about those. So, of the 4 submissions I did, they were on 3 different topics. One was a restaurant review article for gotravel.com. I've submitted it. I don't know if they're going to accept it or not. And it was about 2 restaurants that my husband and I enjoyed eating at in Rome, near the Pantheon. The other one was it's kind of like a kitschy cookbook menu plan type book, based on, I actually can't tell you what it's based on right now, just because I don't want it. Yes, I'm afraid of somebody stealing my idea. So it's kind of a kitschy cookbook, menu plan book type thing. that's going to be fun. There's not much like it on the market. What's one of the things I had to do was a market analysis for this book. And I have to do an additional one for this 5th publisher because I'm submitting the same thing to them, but I got to do a different market analysis. And the last one, this one I can tell you about, I call it A to Z knitting stories, where it's stories from my knitting life, where each story will start, the title of each chapter and short story will start with that letter of the alphabet. So like S is scrapgans, J is Judy is so knitworthy, N is not knitworthy. I don't have it in front of me. I don't have the table of contents in front of me. I think C is custom order, and that was the sample chapter I wrote about the first custom order I ever did, and what a mess that turned out to be. So I've submitted that to 2 places where they've published things like this in the past, so hopefully they like it. But of course, this is another one where if nobody wants it, I'll self-publish it. So yeah. Okay. So you have a better idea of what I've been up to. You know what my plans are for the month, and it being the 10th, I probably should, get on that. And April, yeah, I think April I'll do some more poetry submission. I need to look into that better. I don't write much poetry anymore, so I'm pulling poetry from when I did write poetry. So, yeah. So, I hope everybody's been having a pleasant first couple of months of 2019. And if you'd like to support my writing shenanigans over on my Patreon page for $5 a month, I write a new 1,000 word short story for you to read each month. My thing says 500 minimum, but that's because the first couple of ones were super short. But now I strive to make all the stories I post for my patrons at least 1,000 words. I do have smaller tiers, a $1 tier, which I need to change. I think I'm going to call it the housekeeping tier, where, if you're willing and generous to help me keep the lights on, not literally for the house, but like paying for the website, putting money towards, because there are still some publishers you have to physically mail stuff to. Yeah, not everybody, like Tor I had to physically mail stuff to, Square One Publishing I had to physically mail stuff to. Yeah, so keeping up the website, a little bit of that will go towards the self-publish fund or professional editor fund. That's all kind of mixed up in the same thing, because if I go self-publishing route, I will of course need editors, a cover artist, and I'll need to pay said cover artist and all that fun stuff. So that link will be in the description box below too. So thank you very much for watching, and questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.